percent.
What is the funniest presser moment? What you got?
Which one? I think you could have a category of the tastiest. We had some chocolate milk talk. We had LeBron tasting his own zing there.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
I think can we eliminate Kerr with the sarcastic
fine.
13-point? Yeah, but it's so Greg Popovich. It's like not even Kerr's at this point.
we got better ones.
Derivative. Scratch that one
We
from
got
the list.
better ones.
Yeah, it's Brett Brown, I think, for me.
You go Brett Brown.
Yeah, because he didn't seem like a coach in that moment. It felt like someone's dad who'd been celebrating in the locker room.
Yeah.
And he just kind of stumbled his way to the podium. He had the towel over him, he had the hair wet. And then he said, I love being wet.
Yeah, the perfect comedic pause on
Yeah.
that. I'm going to go LeBron, maybe not just for the zing itself, but his body of work in his post-game press conference, because he had the "Be Better Tomorrow" shout out at the press. He had the whole like hiding his cast there after Game 4 of the finals. He had a couple zings in there. I'll give it to LeBron because of his body of work here.
Real tough category. I think unintentional humor goes to Brett Brown. I think it just happened for him. And then the Joe Ingles, it's the dry humor award, right? Because it kind of slips under the radar there a little bit.
None of these as good as last year's. Take that for data rant from David Fisdale.
That was a memorable
That's
moment.
iconic, but these were solid. But Trey, what's the answer here? Who gets it?
Oh, this one's easy to me. Brett Brown loves being wet. But he never thought he'd say that on national TV. I actually thought I would at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go cannonballing with
yeah.
Brett Brown? Yeah, for sure. All right, we got to take a break. When we return, though, we'll continue handing out the playoff hardware, including Dunk of the Playoffs. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Starters, where we're continuing to hand out some playoff awards. And let's get right into it. Trey, our next category.
I like big dunks, and I cannot lie. These are the nominees for Dunk of the Playoffs. Giannis Antetokounmpo dunked all over Aaron Baines. This time he did it in the postseason. Happened a few times during the regular season. Woo! This is a monster. LeBron James going off the glass to himself in the finals with our 2017 Dunk of the Year. Somehow LeBron James going off the glass to himself is a nominee for 2018 Dunk of the Year. Donovan Mitchell won the dunk contest, and he very well might win Dunk of the Playoffs for crushing a tip dunk off his own missed floater. And Jason Tatum straight up dunked on LeBron James in a Game 7 while being just an 8-year-old rookie. Guys, what was the dunk of the playoffs? Fellas, tell me, what you got?
Oh, this is good. I love this category. I'm going to put my vote to the Greek Freak, to Giannis, because I think Giannis, you sort of alluded to it, Trey. Giannis trying to dunk on Baines was one of the season's best storylines. It started on opening night, way back in October, when he dunked on him. I mean, Baines didn't even know that he threw that hoop down. And then a week later, he nearly killed him.
Yeah.
Nearly killed him on that crazy court. Baines sort of survived that one. That was a rough fall. December, again, nearly destroyed him. He just kept trying to dunk on him every single time. So I like that this was like a beautiful bookend to the season. He dunked on him on opening night, and then he dunked on him in the playoffs. And a huge dunk as well.
Yeah, to be fair to Baines, though, he probably doesn't expect Giannis to try to dunk it from where he's taking off from.
Fair with those, go-go gadget arms.
Yeah,
but I'll go with the Greek Freak.
I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. I thought his dunk was just unbelievable. It came out of nowhere, off his own miss. He threw it down. Chris Webber lost his mind on the sidelines following this game here. And it was just an eruption, the hang time afterwards. He just, that was like Dominic Wilkins back in the day. Just a phenomenal dunk.
Yeah, he's hanging on it with the Chappelle
Prince,
show, game blouses and all that. Yeah, that's a good call.
4 very worthy nominees. But I think the story behind Jason Tatum dunking on LeBron James wins it for me. This rook who tweeted him 6 years ago asking for a follow just dunked on the GOAT of his era and then went at him with a chest bump. It was a nice, cordial go at him,
yeah,
too.
Do you think he kind of, at the last second decided, hang on, am I really going to go up?
I think actually Markieff Morris kind of bumped LeBron into him, so I don't think he was actually going to bump him as hard, but man, what a story for that game.
I do wonder if I would put my vote to that one if the Celtics went on to win that Game 7. Maybe it means a little bit more. It's tough, though. All right, Trey, what is the answer? Dunk of the playoffs.
Well, Skeets, you're not supposed to consider the regular season, but Giannis on Baines was the perfect final chapter to that story. I was loving it, guys. Our next category is big time. Here are the best performance of the playoff nominees. Steph Curry hit a finals record 9 threes on his way to 33 points in Golden State's Game 2 win over the Cavs. Anthony Davis finished off the Blazers by putting up 47 and 10 while adding 3 blocks in Game 4 of the first round. Kevin Durant had 43 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists, and a win in Game 3 of the finals. And of course, in Game 1, LeBron James put up 51, 8 and 8, becoming the first player to score 50 in a finals game and lose. Final nominee Chris Paul posted 41, 7 and 10 in Game 5 of the Western Conference Semis as the Rockets eliminated the Jazz. Guys, what was the best performance of the playoffs? What you got?
You don't want to turn this into a total LeBron love fest, but that Game 1 of the finals, putting up 51, 8 and 8, nearly carrying his team
Even
over
in
the
a loss.
line. I know, it
Even
comes
in
in
a
a
loss.
That's the thing, it comes in a loss,
Yeah.
but what an incredible performance this was. I mean, he just did absolutely everything for his team, hit the shots, got to the line, hit three-pointers, the rebounds, the assists, the efficiency, it was all there. You just wish he had a W at the end of it, but for me, that was just incredible performance. Among those, all those nominees were fantastic.
He did it all, but why didn't he make that free throw for George Hill? Yeah. He could have made that. That's why, yeah, it's LeBron for me, and yeah, it's a loss. Who cares? I mean, doesn't matter. He dominated. They should have won.
It is sort of amazing. You know, we talked about if the finals were boring. 3 of these nominees are coming in the finals with Curry's Game 2, you know, KD's Game 3, and like you guys are saying, LeBron Game 1. I also think we missed Klay Thompson. Wild card there, the Game 6 performance that he had in the conference finals. Right. That's a bit like he may have saved their season.
Yeah,
because the Rockets were up 17 points at one point, 10 at the half, and Klay did his crazy Game 6 thing where we've seen it before in 2016 against the Thunder at that time. But you know, that could have been on the list as well. I'm ultimately going to go with Kevin Durant, though, for the Game 3 there, sort of cementing the win, sealing the deal. What's the answer, though, Trey?
I think it's Kevin Durant as well. Yeah. LeBron, probably the best performance. But Game 3 won KD, the finals MVP. I'm usually here at the internet, so I'm going to hit you with the nominees for Best Meme of the Playoffs. Guys, after J.R. Smith dribbled out the clock during regulation of Game 1 of the finals, he became a meme in a mere 4.7 seconds and some frantic pointing from LeBron. Then the memes started flying. Oh, yes, they were flying. Some people made Super Bowl references. All you had to do was hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Other people's made old people using technology references. I already tried restarting the modem. That usually works. And some showed us the value of taking charge when picking a restaurant. Somebody just pick a restaurant. Marcus Morris's scream meme. After flexing on the Cavs, Marcus Morris got memed up. Some people took shots at Toronto. This ain't the Raptors anymore. While some got self-reflective, saying this is their own securities, yelling at 3 a.m. Some got the pop culture on, talking trash to Tristan Thompson. And remember, Yanni versus Laurel? That was a thing. Yeah. Next nominee, with LeBron destroying the Raptors yet again, ESPN's Mark Jones dubbed the city LeBronto, and the memes came out. LeBron, of course, overtook the famous Toronto sign, and eventually he was elected mayor of the city. Congratulations. LeBron also was sewn into the maple leaf on the Canadian flag and, of course, became the new Raptors logo, eventually expanded from LeBronto to Brontario. Next nominee. After Paul George dubbed himself Playoff P, it was meme time with everyone showing the difference between Paul George and Playoff P. We had Rocky Maivia versus The Rock. Both looking good, if you ask me. We had Ronaldo's weird statue versus Ronaldo's handsome statue. From the Breaking Bad universe, Walter White versus Heisenberg. And from the Parks and Rec universe, Ron Swanson versus Duke Silver. And NBA on TNT put Paul George on a No Limit cover. Make him say, Here's your final nominee. LeBron's short suit that he wore to Game 1 of the finals. What a look this was. Some said it looked like LeBron's tailor ran out of fabric, while others said that it looked like he had a Skype interview. Business up on top, chill mode down below, and of course there were a bunch of AC/DC zingers, because if you wear a short suit, people are going to call you Angus Young. They might even put your head on Angus Young. I'd love to see LeBron trying to pull off this dance. Maybe he can wail on guitar. I don't know. Guys, what was the meme of the playoffs? What you got?
I'm going LeBronto. Because I was one of the idiots that thought the Raptors were actually going to beat LeBron and take down the Cavs. They didn't. The memes were flying. I was crying because they couldn't beat them, but at least I was then laughing from the memes. LeBronto, he does own the Raps.
I agree. It's still... It percolates right now. People are talking about LeBron going to Toronto. That would be the first player who actually owns the team as well. You know, it's tied into basketball way better than the other ones.
I'm an avid shorts wearer. I'm going LeBron in shorts.
You are a shorts fan. What's the answer, Trey?
I'm going with Wrong Way, Jay. To me, this will always be an iconic picture. We're going to see it on T-shirts pretty soon.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll announce a few more award winners, including who deserves the title of the NBA Playoffs Breakout Player. Back in a second. back with the playoff awards. Trey, our next one.
Not everybody can be great all the time. These are the nominees for most disappointing player of the playoffs. First nominee, Serge Ibaka from the Toronto Raptors. Second nominee, Damian Lillard of the Portland Trail Blazers. Our third nominee, J.R. Smith from the Cleveland Cavaliers, probably somewhere out there still dribbling. And our final nominee, Hassan Whiteside from the Miami Heat. Guys, tell me, who was the most disappointing player of the playoffs? What you got?
We are cruel. Disappointing player award. I think it's Damian Lillard for me. The highest expectations of these four by far. He had a great season, and that's what really stinks. They had home court. He comes out in that first series, and they get swept off the floor by the New Orleans Pelicans, who had a great advantage in terms of their guards being defensive against Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. They're great defensive guards in Rondo and Drew Holiday. But he was an all-NBA first-teamer.
Yeah.
You can't get swept off the floor like that. That was disappointing.
Shooting 35% and getting a lot of minutes. I'm going to go with Whiteside, Hassan Whiteside. I was excited for that Heat-Sixers series. I thought there was a role for him to play going against Embiid. We know they had a little bit of history, a little bit of beef. And he scored a total of 26 points in the playoffs. He's a $25 million guy, and he scored 26 points. That's rough. That's rough. So I'll throw a vote to Whiteside.
I'm going to stick with Tass, just given the expectations on Lillard. I mean, it was just a disappointing end to a great season.
Trey, what's the answer?
I'm with you guys. Damian Lillard scored almost 10 points per game fewer after the best regular season in his career. That was a tough one. These ones are not. These are the nominees for the breakout player of the playoffs. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics. Drew Holiday of the New Orleans Pelicans. Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz, Mike. Terry Rozier from the Boston Celtics. Guys, tell me, who was the breakout player of the playoffs? What you got?
A nice accent breakout.
Thanks, Mike.
But actually, ironically, just talking about Lillard, I think Drew Holiday was the breakout player because he was so good for the Pelicans. It seems a little bit weird because he was an all-star, but he finally lived up to that massive contract the Pelicans gave him, and he was fantastic at both ends of the floor, getting them to that second round. And you can see now the Pelicans have a really bright future with him as their backcourt leader, and he just gave tremendous support to Anthony Davis. So I'm going with Holiday.
Yeah, I totally agree. He was an all-star, but I bet most people don't even realize he was an all-star because it was 2013. It's almost like a comeback player of the year award for him, or playoffs award, I guess, because he hasn't been incredible for a long time in this league, but he's just turned 28. So, yeah, they have an incredibly bright future. He shot over 50% for a guard, which is very difficult to do. He was phenomenal.
I can't give it to him, though, because he is still an all-star. He makes a big, massive contract. That's why I'm going to split my vote between those two Celtics.
Geez.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown or Terry Rozier, flip a coin. Both of those guys, phenomenal for the Celtics. I mean, obviously, they're both young guys, talented guys. I mean, I guess I'll ultimately go Rozier because of the Kyrie Irving injury, having to take on a big role, being the point guard there, and having some monster games, especially at home. Did the guy ever miss a shot when he played in Boston?
Well, only in Game 7.
In Game 7, unfortunately. Otherwise, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go with Terry Rozier. And he had the whole Drew Bledsoe storyline going on there with the jersey. I'll go Scary Terry. We're split on this one. TK, what do you think?
I got to go Scary Terry as well. I mentioned it, Skeets. He brought back Drew Bledsoe. I didn't even know I missed him. I'm just glad he was back.
A great point.
Thanks,
a great
Terry.
point. All right, one more break. When we return, we'll start looking ahead to next week's NBA draft right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. You've heard of Shark Week, but starting on Monday, it's Draft Week here on NBA TV. We got Draft HQ on Monday, the mock draft on Tuesday, Future Stars on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, June 21st, it is the 2018 NBA Draft live from Brooklyn. You see the coverage there. DeAndre Ayton, Michael Bagley, Luka Doncic, Lee Ellis are among the top players available still in this year's draft. Suns hold the #1 pick, Kings at 2, Hawks coming in at #3. And we'll be here on Friday to recap that draft night, Friday, June 22nd. We'll have a drop podcast on that Friday as well, then back here on TV. So we'll see you guys next week. I need a week off. I'm not feeling that well right now.
You've earned it, man. You take it.
Michael Bagley, man. Michael Bagley. I'm just getting pulled in my ear and said his name wrong. Sorry, Michael.
Hey, we went to school with a Michael Bagley.
Yeah.
It's Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
That's what I'm making.
And remember,
I know tons about the draft.
this wasn't the Stardies, by the way.
Our draft coverage will be awesome.